Hey skiers, I'm Jeff from Skiessentials.com.
I'm Bob. How's it going?
Welcome to a Top 5 Fridays ski industry news video. A little different venue than we normally are in. If you watch us or if you follow us on social media, you may know that we've been out in Alta with Solomon the past couple days.
Great couple days.
Yeah, it was awesome. We wanted to film this video from the Alta base this morning, but just didn't pan out.
Yep.
So here we are in the Salt Lake City airport. Lovely little establishment that we're in right now. I'm not sure what it's called, but
the Gourmandize.
It's pretty great.
Yeah.
We Bob and I ordered the same sandwich, which will probably come out while we're filming, which will be fun. Anyways, big thanks to Solomon before we get into the news. That was such a fun trip.
Yeah, really good stuff.
I'll throw a little teaser footage in there right now. And then next week we're going to put together kind of like a trip report style video, which should be fun.
Yeah, I think we got a lot of good stuff. I mean, the skiing was fantastic.
Yeah, great. Just like two super bluebird awesome days.
Yeah.
And with that, I think we can get right into the news. Probably go a little bit quicker so we can eat our lunch.
Yeah.
So you can make your flight.
I can't wait.
First topic of the week, Bode Miller. He's been on a tear recently. He's been in Top 5 Fridays news a few times this season. And he just announced a new ski brand called Peak Skis. Pretty exciting.
Direct to consumer, you know, it's kind of, we see a lot of that these days with the ski industry, and now it's moving into skis.
Right. Kind of ironic because you won't be able to buy them from us, but still feels like very relevant news. And I took a look at the skis, and they look pretty cool. I think there's going to be 6 models to start, and a lot of different stuff, you know, some carving skis, some kind of wider skis. Looking forward to kind of learning more about these things for sure. I feel like anytime that Bode Miller puts his stamp on something, it gets pretty darn interesting. Yeah,
like he's someone I would trust and value his input.
Totally. So we got a Peak 88, Peak 98, Peak 104, Peak 110, and then I believe SC stands for Side Country, Peak 98 SC and Peak 104 SC. So pretty nice mix of skis there.
Yep.
I'd say the one surprising thing to me is that there's not like a GS race ski.
Right. I think that would be right in his wheelhouse.
Yeah, but I imagine that we'll get more and more from this company in years to come. And you know, even though we won't be able to sell them, hopefully we'll be able to get on them and see what they're all about.
Yeah, it's industry news.
Exactly. Second topic of the week, Ikon Pass has announced a reservation for next season for a few of its resorts, not all of its resorts. The ones that have been named so far are Brighton, Aspen, Snowmass, Loon, Jackson Hole, Big Sky, Taos, and the summit at Squamish?
Snoqualmie.
That's a tough one for me. Anyways, I thought this was pretty interesting. You know, I feel like there's been a lot of backlash, mostly towards Vail resorts this season for overcrowding. So it kind of feels like Ikon's like getting out ahead of it.
Yeah, but like, you know, as we talked about earlier, like the reservation system last year at Stowe didn't really make it less crowded. Right. You know, so it doesn't matter. They could take 100,000 reservations. It's all about making that number meet sort of a comfortable medium of access and crowd. Yeah. So it'll be interesting to see how that works out.
Yeah, and another kind of interesting aspect to this is they don't own, Alterra doesn't own some of these resorts. So there's a little bit of a gray area still. I think we're going to have to wait to get more information about this, but will it be only Ikon Pass holders? It's going to be interesting.
Yeah.
So
we'll see how it goes.
Absolutely. And then the Utah Department of Transportation, this one's really relevant to the past 2 hours for us.
Yep.
The Utah Department of Transportation has announced a delay in the Little Cottonwood Canyon traffic solution. And we said in last Top 5 Fridays that we were going to solve the problem.
Yep.
It's a tough problem.
It's a tough problem. It's a very narrow, windy road.
Yeah.
And everyone wants to go at the same time.
Right.
So
exactly.
It's a tough situation.
Clearly not much room to expand the road itself. You know, it's kind of similar problem that we have in Stowe in that Harlow Hill section. Like, you can't really expand the road there, and that's kind of where the bottleneck is. So pretty interesting. We did see a ton of signs on like community buildings and stuff like that that just said no gondola.
No gondola.
So clearly my opinion is not the popular opinion in the local community. Joe Johnson, the Solomon marketing director, he had some cool thoughts. He's in favor of a train, which I think a train would be cool. And, you know, obviously that would require a ton of work, a ton of money, crazy infrastructure. But as Joe pointed out, they do it in Europe.
They do it in Europe, and like I just like it when people try new things around here.
Right,
like,
and as you pointed out, no one tries anything
No one tries anything anymore. Dig a hole through that mountain.
Right.
Throw a train in there.
So, you know, as we have been, we'll keep an eye on this and keep you guys in the loop. It was kind of interesting. They put out, we got sandwiches.
Awesome.
Sweet.
Thank you.
Look at these. I told you, this is a great establishment here. Anyways, they put out kind of a public forum, and they got 14,000 comments.
Right, they couldn't even move through with the meeting because there were 14,000 people that were going to say one thing or another.
Totally.
Yeah.
So, you know, I think they kind of took that and were like, all right, we need to curb this and let the community speak more.
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens there. And then last topic of the week. Level 1's Super Unknown finalists are being announced. If you're not familiar with Super Unknown, Level 1 does this annual contest where you can submit edits. Then they determine a group of finalists. Those finalists then go to a certain location and they have like a week-long photo shoot with Level 1. Then they determine an overall winner, and that person typically has like a film contract with Level 1 for a couple years.
Pretty good little system to get yourself set up with, I think.
Absolutely. No, and it's really fun to watch. I believe they're releasing like 2 edits a day. For a little while until they're all out, and then the public is able to kind of determine a wild card finalist out of the semi-finalists. So there's a link to Level 1 site at the bottom of this video. So go check out those videos because they're always a blast.
Yeah, and really a good opportunity for these kids and you know, younger athletes that don't have, you know, an established kind of presence to get themselves out there.
Totally. And some really good female entries this year. I saw some awesome female entries pop up the other day, which was cool to see. And then for edits of the week this week, we only have a couple. We have the Nines 2020 course preview.
All you need is the Nines.
Yeah.
It's just incredible.
No, that event is amazing. There's been a lot of cool footage coming out of there so far, and next week we'll certainly have like a whole event recap. And then the second edit of the week, this is a pretty silly one. Jason Leventhal, he's always pretty silly. Yeah,
but he put some snowboard bindings on some skis and went skiing.
Yeah, a little bit of an April Fool's joke. He kind of center drilled a pair of his skis, much like the old ski boards and stuff like that. You know, he even had skis when they had that center-mounted line binding.
Right.
But yeah, he took some snowboard bindings and mounted them to skis and went skiing.
Yeah, and did all right.
So check that out. And that's it for Top 5 Fridays.
Cool.
So Bob and I are going to enjoy our lunch. Hopefully this comes out okay.
Yeah, we'll see.
And we'll talk to you next week.
Bye.